Hi guys, welcome to your feminine energy update. This reading is actually designed to just give you an energy update on the flow of femininity in your life. Now, as you guys know, everyone has male and female, or no, everyone has masculine and feminine polarity within them. So we're actually just looking at the feminine polarity at this time. Now, that means that, of course, we're talking about you if you are predominantly feminine, but we're also talking about those who are predominantly masculine. We're looking at the feminine energy that is within them if they would relate to this reading. Some of you may actually not be able to relate to the themes that are being mentioned in this video, but the fact that you even pressed on the video means that it's for you. The thing is that you might actually say, hey, this isn't me, but this describes my mom, or this describes my husband who vibes more feminine right now. And it's you, because all of these people are just reflecting the feminine energy within you. So moving on from that point, we're going to throw a few cards and see what the inner feminine within you is doing. And of course, we'll also see how it is reflected in other people outside of you. Ooh, I knew it. I know, because I'm predominantly feminine, and oh, that's me. But anyway, if you would like to have a personal reading with me, whoopsies, or an energy healing session, wow, with me, please do feel free to reach out. Okay, our feminines are quite busy. Ooh, they're saying learning quite a lesson here. All right, so if you haven't had a chance, you can go ahead and check the inner masculine video that I've also possibly uploaded already. I just finished shooting it, and that would be obviously about the masculine in your life, people in your life who vibe masculine, male, female, or gender non-conforming, and it mostly relates to the inner masculine within you. So I would watch both to see how they relate. Okay? Anyway, so let's look at the flow of femininity right now. So the feminine polarity within all of us who would relate to this video or are part of this collective is going through a harsh lesson. They're saying it's going through a lesson. The lesson right now is producing an energy that we perceive of. They're saying, notice the wording. The lesson right now is producing an experience, and a lesson that we experience as being dark night of the soul. But this is actually what it is. See how they look very similar, but it's opposite. Spirit is saying this is actually the feminine right now. This is the process the feminine is going through, a heart opening. It's a rebuilding, a restructuring of the heart space. So a lot of you may actually be going through heart pains, regardless of whether you're predominantly feminine or masculine in polarity. Since we all carry this feminine, you're going through a heart restructuring. And guess who's responsible? You are. Look at the hand right over the heart. She's like, this is what I want. This is what I feel. This is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling this. And a lot of you may actually be thinking that this is from on high. You're like, somebody hates me. I've done something in a past lifetime to kill me, because you see how this energy here at the dark night of the soul, there's a ball. Look at this energy, this light right here. You perceive of that coming downward and being given onto you for the experience, but it's not the case at all. Your higher self, the higher self of the feminine, polarity, is creating. You know how you saw how they slipped that masculine in there? I knew the masculine would come in here, because the masculine energy has created this. So a lot of you may have bumped up against a masculine polarity person in your life. You might be like, yeah, I know who that is. Okay, it could be your mom, because a lot of mothers carry a predominantly masculine temperament, or they may have been in their masculine when this happened, but I know a lot of you know who I'm talking about. Whoever it is, they put in motion a process for you at this time that you signed off on a higher level. This is a harsh lesson, but you see how the hands are open right here and things are passing right through it? This is because her energy, your energy, the feminine, is saying everything must go. Why? Because look at this vision that she has. In fact, oh my God, look, I picked up 2 cards by mistake. There's the disconnect from the masculine card. Whenever I do readings, this card, it comes through with the disconnect from the masculine. So some of you have been going through a disconnection from someone, Look, so you see how she has this vision? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look here. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the vision she had. By bumping up with a masculine energy that was the catalyst for creating this experience that we perceive of as the dark night of the soul, everything must go in the heart space. Why? Because there was a desire from the feminine on high to create a whole new restructuring in this heart space. But unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on who or what you're dealing with, part of that process has been about disconnecting from the masculine, right? But look at this look at this building here. Spirit is saying the masculine, your for reals inner masculine, could never be disconnected from you, because look at it, look at what it is you're building here. Who do you think helped you to come up with the blueprint for that? Look at that. So from a higher perspective, you're on a higher level, your inner masculine, my dear, your inner masculine has been working with your inner feminine. This is all an inside job, but as above, so below. And so your inner masculine, through its own like unhealedness, or through its whatever, and from a higher perspective, its perfection, right, has created a catalyst moment for you, has created a moment for you to have a catalyst in your life. Why? Because the both of you wanted to create heaven on earth within your heart space. Because guess what? When the feminine is in her heart space, it's a house for everybody. It's a home for all, right? It's about creating and giving. Anyway, and so a lot of times separation is just what's needed. It plays out in the physical as somebody coming in and leaving your life in some way, ghosting you, passing on, whatever it is. It's like coming in to give you what it is. When I said whatever it is, it was 7 minutes, 7 seconds, that's 7-7, right? I came in, I gave you what you needed, and I left. Why? Because the leaving is part of the process. Guess who needs to be triggered into standing on their own? Guess who needs to be triggered out of stagnation, right? It's you, the feminine aspect. And so these people who are vibing more within their masculine aspect, I'm seeing them coming through as skeletons right now. Those in the masculine are coming through as skeletons. And if you watch the masculine reading, you'll see that those masculines, quite possibly your own inner masculine, is in the process of losing its material in this life at this time. So a lot of them are having a very, very hard ego death. They're losing this, they're saying the decisions will be made easily once they lose that ego. A lot of them are in the process of losing this idea that they had about themselves, their false sense of propriety, false sense of what others see of them. They're losing the public persona. Oh gosh, I felt that. I felt that. A lot of them are going to be going into, it's not hiding. A lot of them are going to be going into sequestering. It almost feels like somebody leaving the public to turn inward for a spiritual journey. Like they cut their hair, they go into seclusion. But it's and unfortunately sometimes people need to be shamed into it. Now let me stop. I don't want to say need to be shamed into it, because shame is not something we ever need. But the point is, they would not do it otherwise unless something forced them out of the public, like shame, for example. Right? Hello. That makes you want to run and hide. And when you run and hide, guess where you are? By yourself. And now you're by yourself and you have to look at yourself. So this is most likely something you might be going through too, if that masculine energy if you're part of that collective masculine energy. So if you're dealing with a masculine who is a person or somebody who's going through that, guess what? It's also inside of you, because all the masculines in your life will reflect an aspect within you that you may not even have identified yet, but it is there. So either way, the feminine received some type of blow, a catalyst moment. And what she's doing is she's being completely engrossed in a transmutational process that she experiences as Dark Night of the Soul, but actually is this. They're saying quantum leaping. So if you are directed to this video, you are quantum leaping right now. I don't care if you vibe more masculine or if you vibe more feminine. Everyone should watch both videos. But you're quantum leaping at this time. If you can harness that feminine aspect within you and kind of give yourself to this process, yes, yes, yes. Spirit is saying, yeah, it's a harsh lesson though. A lot of you are learning lessons right now. A lot of us. But these are the kinds of lessons they're saying that will allow you to become the kind of person, the kind of being, the kind of quality, and possessing the kind of integrity that will allow even you to dwell within this space that you're creating for your within your heart. So on a physical level, we can say that this process manifests as, oh hey, I'm learning how to trust, I'm learning how to be more in my integrity, I'm learning how to be that kind of person so that I can create a space in my life for people to come in and be like that as well. And so from now on, when I'm dating people or when I'm looking for a job or when I'm whatever, I'm looking for friendships, I'm looking to make sure that the people who I connect with have those qualities that I have learned to cultivate within myself. That's what that looks like on the physical, right? Lesson learned. But from a higher perspective, this is what it looks like. Oops, excuse me. It's all alchemical mutation, right? This is all transmuting energies, as above, so below. All right, so let's take a look at some of these feminine energies. She who resists. So a lot of you are going through a lot of resistance, 2 cards. A lot of resistance right now. She who guides, she who regrets. Interesting. So some of you may be carrying regret for some things that you may have put in motion. Maybe you told people things, you led them to believe things. Please remember that you can't lead someone to believe something unless they have something within themselves that kind of is in accordance with that. I know that's a controversial statement, right? But if they're in accordance with some bad advice, it's now a lesson for them because they need discernment, right? So we're all helping each other to learn. So Spirit is saying, but this is also part of a harsh lesson here. So some of you have been leading others in ways that may have, you perceive them as being hurt, but please know that everybody is doing their best. I'm also getting some of you that this may be a masculine energy. This is the feminine that maybe the masculine. I'm getting some masculine energies here who may have been acting from a toxic feminine place when they were interacting with feminine, and they may have misled somebody who, may have been naive or just whatever. How does that look on this physical level? Well, it looks like, oh, there's a guy's dating a girl, for example. We're assuming that the genders match the polarity, which they need not. Let's say a guy's dating a girl and he's dating a girl who's trying to control the connection. She's trying to skip out on divine timing. She wants instant gratification. She wants to, know that he's not going to abandon this and that. So she's in her masculine, controlling, and he's in the feminine, where he's kind of being this energy, where he's misleading, he's giving promises, he's whatever it is, and then boom, of course everything falls through. So you see, that's why it's important to watch the masculine and feminine readings, because we switch back and forth as it benefits us at the time. And so that's why I'm feeling a little masculine here, because some of the masculines may have been more in their feminine, and in the toxic sense, and misleading women who were more, or feminines who were more in their masculine with trying to control things. So anyway, work it out. So a lot of you may, it's like, look, she who resists, she who begins. So it's like, it's interesting because notice the begins is right here in this process. You're meant to have a new beginning. The feminine polarity is meant to have a new beginning right now. The cycle has already started. The new beginning has already started. But the problem is that many feminines are struggling to let go of the old. Of course, because letting go and surrendering is not easy. But Spirit is coming in to say that it's wise to remember that we are all of these people. We're all of this, right? Yeah, we make these divisions, they're saying, along the lines of masculine and feminine, but we do have to remember that we are all of these. It's all. She who remains, this is the issue. So if you're watching this, what you need to do right now is to take a look. Be honest with yourself. She who stands, be honest with yourself as the feminine, and get higher, from a higher perspective, and look, I know I'm supposed to be having this new beginning, and a lot of you may be saying that you are really embracing it. You've moved on, you've stopped messaging, you've stopped this, you've stopped looking at that job website, that whatever it is this cycle is beginning for you in whatever area of your life. But have you really? Because I'm seeing this resistance for the new beginning, and the result is remaining. So remember, Spirit is saying this is the process of awakening, of opening, of building, of structuring the heart space, creating the blueprints, the templates for new energies and higher vibrational frequencies and related connections, right, to come in. But this is the experience. We're having all out war on the inside right here. It's hurting, it's painful. And what's happening is the resistance, the desire to still connect with whoever or whatever it is that you are connecting with. And I do see that energy fading out, okay? For a lot of you, the energy is just yourself. Well, of course, it all boils down to ourself. You and your relationship with your inner masculine and your feminine. That's it. And it's reflected outside in interrelationships with other people, plain and simple. So you have to get a hold of this balance within the self so that you can move forward. And this is what you're being called to do right now. You have to make a stand. You have to take a stand. So you're going to be having a choice point. Okay? She who forgives. Yes, Spirit is saying the way forward for you, feminine, is that you've got to forgive yourself. 17 minutes, 17 seconds. But it also necessitates walking away from what it is that is no longer giving you joy. Some of you closed out a very eerie cycle, they're saying. A very eerie cycle. This could have been happening around Halloween and last year or the year before, or just whatever. Could even have been 2 years ago in general. An eerie cycle of your life. Maybe you're living somewhere else. It's 2:22 p.m. right now. You could have been with somebody at some point. Things were strange. For some of you, you're going to know what this is. I got into an eerie space. I don't know, right? You got to do some forgiveness work around there as well. So I do want to say that I'm vibing with this energy. So yeah, I was in a situationship recently. Let's put it that way. I just stopped short of saying I was dating somebody. And after all was said and done, that was the catalyst for me. That was the catalyst, right? And so I'm vibing a lot with this cycle, as a lot of you may be. But some of you may not have had a relationship stuff. It may have been like work stuff, family stuff, whatever. But it's just the same dynamic. And the masculine energy said to me, you won't see me again until you, number one, move. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean move house. It could mean move, get moving, move, make decisions, change, do, heal, grow. And until you too forgive yourself. Now I realized that it was the inner masculine within me saying you have to do this stuff. And so here it makes sense, because here is she who forgives. This is what we need to be working on right now. Forgive who? You. Forgive you. You. At the end of the day, it will always be you. If you're forgiving somebody out in your life, guess what? If they're a feminine polarity, then you're forgiving your inner feminine. If they're a masculine polarity, then you're forgiving your inner masculine. So you can sit all day and say, I need to forgive my dad, I need to forgive my mom, I need to forgive this guy, I need to forgive my best friend. You need to forgive you, because all of them are reflecting you. And so, as I mentioned in the inner masculine video that I just did, it would be wonderful to do some inner masculine and feminine balance YouTube meditations on there. Just go ahead and look. Make sure that you see the word inner though. This is not about attracting love. This is about working on the inner masculine and inner feminine balancing. There are so many wonderful YouTube meditations out there that you can listen to at night, or fall asleep to rather. It really, really helps. You can do some journaling as well. So many tips. Anyway, look at this. She who emerges. Spirit is saying this is not the first time that you've ever done this process. This is an alchemical process that we do over and over and over again. 20 minutes, 20 seconds, right? It's just that you've got to get off the battlefield. Look at this. She who battles is coming through like this. You've got to get off the battlefield by taking a stand. What are you going to do? Are you going to continue to hold on and resist, or are you going to allow for this transformation to occur for you? From you. You see how they said from you? Because it's from you to you. And they're not doing it, you're not doing it to you, you're doing it for you. That's how it happens, right? Whoa. Oh God. But it's not my fault. Wow. Just heard that. But it's not my fault. She who enfolds, she who waits. It's not my fault. At the end of the day, it's not about whose fault it is. Because if you look at it from a higher perspective, yes, it is. I'm just going to leave it at that. If you're still saying, no, it's not, that just indicates more work needs to be done on the inner. 21 minutes, 21 seconds. Okay, and that's fine. But please get out of the story. Get out of the story. Look at that. Look at the faces. Look very similar, but get out of the story. Spirit is saying this is part of the process, is telling your story, of course, but you can't dwell on the story. I'm still seeing some resistance. And look at the next stage. Okay, well, maybe I did it, but I didn't mean to. And she looks away. Okay, maybe I did it, but I didn't mean to. That would be the progression, right? I don't know which one you guys are at this point. And then finally, like, I don't like it. I don't like where this is going, but I'm listening. And that's when some energies start to come up. And that's when light of self-forgiveness can start to come in. Because when you start to listen, that's when you can start to be shown by spirit. And that's going to be about some inner work. Now it's interesting because look at this. Mirroring, two different decks. Look at the mirroring. So this is showing this I didn't do it. It's not my fault. This person and that person is part of the process, right? Look at the hand. Look at the face. Look at the hair. But again, you cannot dwell there. A lot of you may be there right now and saying, I'm listening, but I'm not being heard, all right? If you're not being heard, you're not listening, right? Now, hear yourself. Tell your story, journal it out, and then start to unfold. Look at this. Well, okay, whatever, maybe, whatever, but I don't, right? So you're listening a little bit more, but sit down and kind of get quiet and be like, okay, well, whatever, but let me hear it, you know? When you create the space for that opening, that's when, look at the learning, look at her now. Yeah, she who avenges, yeah, you can sit down and be royally upset about it, but at the end of the day, you're listening, you're learning. Look at the cards. You don't even need the cards. The evidence is right in front of you. All right, where did I go wrong? Yeah, you're drinking that last drink. You don't want to look at that candle, but look at the candle. The candle representing the truth, illumination. One more card. Okay, thanks, Spirit. Yeah. She who prepares. Lovely. I do want to show you right now. That's the wedding dress underneath. This wedding is what? Integration with self, integration with the masculine within. And if you can have, look at this. She's like, it's like you created this thing now. In my little dollhouse, in my little house, in my heart, I can add openness to marriage and co-creation and interrelationships, right? She who prepares. This is balance. You got to get balance. All right. Anyway, so I'm going to conclude this reading now so it can fit on Instagram. If you'd like to have a personal reading or an energy healing session with me, reach out. You know where I'm at. Mwah. Bye.